Well, we're now on the final away trip for the year at Bramble Mere. Thanks for joining me on the Journeyman's Tales. Right, it's kind of midday on Monday, November the 1st. We have arrived now. I'm with 3 other people. I've got Steve off to my left on the far bank, and I've got Carey and another Steve on the causeway bank off to my right. And we've had a good walk round and spoke to the bailiff Ollie, who's filled us in a bit on what's been going on and where some fish have been coming out. Put us on a few spots where the wraps are, etc, etc, etc. So bivvy's up, the rods are out, and I think Kerry's only been fishing about half an hour, and he had a beautiful fully scaled mirror, just over 19 pounds off the causeway. So he's a happy bunny, having lost a big fish last time we were out, but we're not going to mention that. So it's just got a good feel about it. The rain's hold off at the moment. There's a nice warm breeze going on. It's a bit bright, but hey ho. It's looking good, feeling positive. I think it might be a bit better off when the light starts dipping away a bit later on, maybe. Feeling good. Now, I don't think I've ever done a food review before, and I don't really intend to start now. It's certainly not going to be biscuit of the week. I'll leave that to bigger and better people. But since the last video went out, and I had a huge amount of incredibly supportive comments, I've been eating these, and they are rather delicious. It's a lovely little juicy pie, and I just can't get enough of them. Thanks. Well, good morning. Turned out to be a very still, calm night. Clouds all disappeared, the wind disappeared. Stars everywhere, and a huge drop in temperature. It didn't freeze, but it did get very cold. Nothing to report, and I'm not sure if anything else has come out. I haven't heard anything this morning so far. Now there's one just boshed fairly long, so I've flung a pop up even, out there as best I can. Because of the overhanging trees, you have to get in the water to do it. And if you saw the last video, I'm not too clever in water. But I've launched it as close as I could get it. And there's one just come out just past the baited area off to my left, and that's the only thing I've seen this morning. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's 9:30 now. The mist is beginning to clear, the sun is peeking over the trees now. And I don't know. I'll leave things as they are for a while. I'll put some more bait in on the area later on today, midday. Make sure everything's in place for the evening. I don't honestly expect much to be coming during the day. Maybe I'm wrong. This time of year they tend to come in the evening or during the course of the night. I did have a liner just as it was getting dark, but that's been about it. So I'm wrapping myself around a cup of coffee trying to warm my hands up at the moment. And somehow I've managed to rip a fingernail off, which wasn't particularly pleasant. Presumably when the cold comes off that, it's going to start hurting like hell, but there we are. The joys of being out and about. And if I sound croaky, it's because I'm getting croaky. Winter's here. Now, the question I've asked of a number of people, including Trakker themselves, is does the new skull cap wrap for the 100T bivvy fit the old V2 bivvy? Trakker say no. Various other people have come up with possible solutions, and yes it does, no it doesn't, maybe it does. So the bottom line is, that's it sitting on the bivvy, my old V2 bivvy. Now the bivvy's fine. It is beginning to show signs of wear. When I tried the wrap on at home before I brought it out, I had to change a couple of the elastics because they'd gone. Some of the stitching's beginning to pull away on some of the peg down points, but I mean it's been out and about a few times over the years. But you can't buy the new, well you couldn't buy the new bivvy for a while now. I think they've been out of stock, the 100s anyway. So I took a chance on the wrap, and I think it fits. I mean, you could say it doesn't fit on the grounds that the old bivvy's got 2 windows, and the wrap is catering for the new bivvy, which has got 4 windows. Chances are at this time of year I'm not going to be looking to be opening windows and getting vent in them. I've got the wrap there because the last time out, the condensation on the sidewalls on the bivvy were beginning to wet the pillow on the bed and my head and stuff. Fine underneath where the skull cap was, but on the sidewalls the condensation was beginning to build up, and we're now in the first week of November, so it's only going to get worse over the winter. So I took a punt. It fits fine on the pegging points on the front where you put the poles into the bivvy, and the only thing is you could possibly say it's a little bit short around the bottom pegging points. As you go around I'll show you, but I don't know how it fits on the new bivvy anyway to make a comparison. But if you're looking for a shortcut, I'd say it's a goer. The only thing that I don't think will fit, which is sadly, is the skull cap wrap for the brolly, because I think the footprint of that is smaller, but that would be ideal because one, it's cheaper and it hasn't got all these windows in that I'm not going to need. But it's on. We'll see tonight, because once the temperature starts dropping, the condensation will start kicking in, and we'll see if it serves the purpose. But I'm quite happy with the fit, regardless of what they say. Well, just give you a quick midday catch-up. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened anywhere. I've spoken to the boys this morning. Nobody's had anything, so Carey is still top dog. The only thing I've seen is a couple bosh out at not excessive range, but I can't get to it because of the overhanging trees. Even with chesties on and wading out, I can't get out too far because it's quite soft. And with my track record, I'm not pushing it. But you've still got to crouch down to get it underneath the tree canopy. I'm about the distance, but it's difficult to feel it down. So it's a bit of a punt in the dark, really. But I've got a big bright orange pop-up going on out there. But up to now, I've been kind of match the hatch, keeping it fairly subtle. But I've just changed one of the close range ones now to a bright orange wafter with some maggots on the top. I've got a yellow one on there, Indian spice with some maggots on the top, and I've just put a pint of maggots over just to see if it'll provoke something. I mean, even if it's just to get the silverfish maybe munching around. There's not a huge head of fish in here, but I mean there's some perch and there are some rudd in here. You never know if they start poking around. The carp might have a look and get involved. Steve said there were a few boshing out in front of him off to my right during the night, but again, not getting the heads down. But the mist has gone. It's warmed up a little bit, the sun's coming out, but it's due to get colder tonight apparently. Happy days. Anyway, you gotta be in it to win it. Now, because I had so many supportive and complimentary comments on the last video, I've decided I'm going to do an extra draw, and I'm doing it now. So I'm going to pick out 2 people who have already commented on the last video. The first one out is going to get some of these Probate UK Indian Spice pop-ups, and the second one out is going to get some of these Superfruits pop-ups. Now they're nice little 12mm, delicate little pop-ups, perfect. And I know the Indian Spice have been taking a lot of fish of late, so hopefully this, last time I tried this I kept winning because it kept picking out my replies to comments, so hopefully it won't do it this time. Right, get a comment, start. There you go. Christopher Warren, you probably won't be able to see that. I'll take a screenshot and zoom in later on. So Christopher Warren, you're getting a pot of the Indian spices. Let's do another go. Get a comment. And that says Jason Salter, and you're in for the Superfruits. I'll take a screenshot so I can show you. But if you two can private message me with an address where I can send these, as soon as I've stopped filming and gotten back home, I'll get these sent off as best I can. But you're the reason why I'm out here filming again, so thanks very much guys for the support. And I did say there is going to be another draw later on for a 5k of Probate UK boilies and a pot of pop-ups as well, and I'll tell you about that towards the end of the video. But thanks guys. We've now got to Wednesday morning, and the sun is beginning to creep over the top of the trees now. Be another hour or so before it starts warming up this part of the lake. And needless to say, another quiet night. I didn't even hear any boshing last night at all, really. I think there was one over to my left in the far corner, but other than that, it was all quiet as far as I was concerned. Nobody's had anything on the causeway. I don't know about Steve. On the eastern bank, but I thought I would have heard if somebody had caught something. I think there'd be fireworks going on, but the temperature did drop down again to 1 degree last night. But I don't know, should something be going on? They're obviously resisting the joys of maggots that I've put out there with the crumb, but I'm going to try later on today. I've been baiting a spot off to my left in the margins, just underneath an overhanging tree, just out of the swan's depth. Excuse me, I've been putting some hempen casters down there, so I'm going to drop a rig down there later on once the sun warms it up a bit, I think. Got nothing to lose now. We got one more day, one more night. I think we're entitled to stay till 8 o'clock Thursday evening, but I won't be doing that. I'll be drifting off mid-morning. But yeah, strangely quiet. Strangely quiet. We'll keep plugging away though. Well, I've just wandered over to the opposite bank. I've seen a bit of bubbling. Not constant, but it's just a little bit coming up now and again. So I'm fishing the right hand side. Carey's fishing fairly close to the left hand side of the point. But there was a bit just after I got here, so I've flung a bit out on a rotary rig with the bead moved up the fairway. So it's kind of a part chod rig, if you like. It's quite soft, so I don't know what it's sitting in. I'll give it half an hour and then just move it about till I find something solid. But it's on top of bubbling at the moment. It's all a bit Crabtree, this, isn't it? Garden furniture, the lot. Happy days, eh? Now, I did announce on this video that we were going to do a giveaway at the end of it. Now, courtesy of Probate UK, you can win 5 kilos of the frozen squid and orange boilies and a tub of the Indian spice pop-ups. Now, all you have to do to enter is to obviously watch the video, put a like and make a comment. And I'll leave it open for a week after publication of the video, and then I'll do a draw. Now, if you notice at the home site of the VW Journeyman channel, there's now a bar along the top, and there's a community button. I'll announce on the community button who's won it, and I'll also announce it on the VW Journeyman Facebook site. So get involved, put a comment in, put a like in, watch the video, enjoy the video, and you could win yourself some lovely bait courtesy of Probate UK. You may recall I'm supposed to be doing a review of the Korda Klor hooks, but I'm not catching anything, so I think we'll have to leave that one for now. Well, we're coming into the last evening. It's been cloudy most of the day, and we did have a light sprinkling of rain earlier on, but it does look as if it's breaking up a bit, sadly. I'm hoping the cloud would stay overnight and keep a bit of this heat in, but here we are. Put a few more bombs of the TT crumb that I've showed you with some maggot out onto the spot. I got 2 rods on that spot, and I've now got the left-hand rod off to the left-hand side on a swim just in the margins round the corner that I've been baiting with some hempen casters for the last 2 nights, on the off chance that something will come through the margins. But hopefully something will turn up. One of the Steves off to my left has had to go early, so there's Steve, the other Steve, and Carey still on the causeway, and there's a lot of fingers that are crossed that something turns up. There hasn't been anything showing. I think one came out in the middle that Carey spotted, but that's been it. There's been no bubbling going on, no signs of anything really. But as long as the temperature doesn't drop out ridiculously, it should be a good night. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, sadly we got to the last morning. It's time to start packing away. Last night was absolutely perfect really. The wind is a little bit coming from the west, northwesterly maybe. It was much warmer than it had been the previous 2 nights, but unfortunately no fish were boshing anywhere to my knowledge. Certainly didn't see any bubbling, and I don't think the boys on the causeway have had anything. So we'll have to chalk that up as another blank, unfortunately. Not something I particularly like, but something you have to put up with, isn't it? Anyway, as I say, it's time to start packing away. Don't forget the competition. If you want to enter, give the video a thumbs up and drop a comment on. And the new community button, that is where I'll announce the winner. I'll leave it, as I said, for a week after publication before I do the draw, so I'll give you a bit of time to get in there, and whatever the winner is, if you can private message me an address, I'll get the bait sent off as soon as I can. As always, thanks for your company on the Journeyman's Tales, and I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers for now.